we ended this question yesterday with, all right, the center's 5, 2. So that's why you guys see -5, -2. Radius is 4. That's why you guys see 16, because remember, that's the r squared value. Now, we ended class with the following. You could go through each multiple choice and complete the square and see which one matches your answer. Or if you want to get to one of these answers, here's what I started. You can multiply instead. X minus 5 times x minus 5. X squared minus 10x plus 25 when you double distribute. Y minus 2. Do it again. Y minus 2. Y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals 16. Now notice the choices, everybody. Do you see how your multiple choices just have the x's and the y's? You don't see 25 and you don't see 4 in your answers, right? Why? Because they moved them over. All right, they moved them over. So move the 25 and move the 4 over. Then you'll see your answer. X squared minus 10x plus y squared minus 4y equal to negative 13. Okay, that's where we'll see our answer. Your choice, though. You want to go through each multiple choice and complete the square, that's fine. If you want to get your answer to look like one of the multiple choices, you are going to have to multiply out. Anything else? I got a bunch of questions I want to make sure I get through. Be ready to complete the square. You know, can you risk it and say, oh, I'm going to say I'm not going to have to complete the square, and then it's on there and you're toast. Let's go. 17. Find arc, the measure of arc dB now. All right, let's go through. I don't have time today to go through your cold hard fact sheet. 58 degrees, inside or outside? Here we go, inside or outside? Inside. Is it central? No, it's not coming from the center. Is it inscribed? No, because it's not on the circle. So we call it a floater angle. 58 degrees is a floater angle. And remember, the floater angle is equal to half the two arcs subtracted or added? Added. That's a floater angle. Half the two arcs added together. What's one arc we already know? 72. Now we're picking it up in the other arc, the vertical angles arc, the one we're trying to find. That's just knowing the fact when the time comes next week. All right, what's your move next? What would a lot of you do here to get x by itself? Multiply by 2. You can distribute the 1/2, so we multiply by 2. 2. What do we get there? 116 equals 72 plus x. Move the 72 over, and we're on our way. 44. All right, floater angle. If my if my angle was on the outside, that's when I subtract. The angle's on the outside. That's when I subtract the two arcs and take half. Questions, comments? All right, let's keep trucking. I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do that one. Oh, 15. Find the area of Dan. What are you doing? This isn't anything new to us. We shouldn't be getting out distance, 1/2 base times height. How do we find the area of a triangle that's on a graph? Draw a box around it, right? Let's draw a box around it. Off to the side, I find the area of that box. Length times width. $11 by 12. Yep. Oh boy, that's a long one, huh? 121. That was always one that tripped me up back in the elementary school days. 11 times 12. 132. 11 and 11 is 121. All right, you ready? Area of each triangle. Let's do this one, second, third. So area of triangle 1, 1/2. Let's see, that's going to be 11 on that side times 3 on that side. How's that look? 3? Half of 33? 16.5. Everyone all right with what I'm doing here? And then finding the area of triangle 2. 1, that's going to be, let's see, that was 3, so that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, half of 63. Anybody half of 63? 31.5. And then the bottom right one, area of triangle 3. That's 12 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 24. And here we go. Let's subtract them. No way there's a radical. So I'm going to guess the answer is 60 here. Now, hey, scenario for you. I've never seen this come up, but it may. You draw the box around, and let's say these two triangles came out to be right triangles, but this one came out to be like some kind of odd figure we've never seen, and you don't have an area formula for it. Break it up into figures that you do have a formula for. Okay, break it up. Maybe it's not something you're familiar with, but maybe you can break it up into a triangle and a rectangle. Okay, so don't get freaked out if one of them's not a right triangle. Break it up into something that you can find the area of. All right? All good? Finding the area on a graph. Just trying to go over ones that come up all the time. 14, our favorite, partitions. Break it up into a ratio of 2 to 3. Here we go. X coordinate. What's the distance from -4 to 1? The X coordinates. What's the distance? -4 to 1. That's not far. That's going to be 5. How many pieces you breaking this up into? 5 congruent parts, 2 to 3. So 5 divided by 5 equals 1. Now, how do you figure out how many times you got to go 1 unit? First number. So I'm going to go 1 unit twice. So 1 unit twice, 2 total units, right? And where'd you start? At -4. So I say -4, go over 2 units. Where am I now? -2. I guess we could stop there, right? If we were really confident, because there's only one multiple choice that has -2. But let's do it for the y, so we're good. Because this might be a part 2 question as well. -2 to 8. How many units are you going? 10. Still divided by 5. How many times am I going 2 units? Still twice. We always go the first number. We don't care about the third number. If there's a third number, we better be concerned. We never go by the second number. So 2 twice. 4 total units. From where? -2 plus 4, 2. What do you have on the back of your Regents exam? Graph paper. Graph both. And make sure what? This is on there. All right, this is on there. Especially if it's not multiple choice. We should be definitely taking advantage of the graph, making sure our point's on there. Okay, partition. Good. Next, 13. Know our quadrilateral facts. Know our facts. This is a parallelogram. What makes it into a rhombus? So basically, which one of those 4 choices is a rhombus property? BD bisects AC. That's just a what property? BD bisects AC. That's a what property? That's just a parallelogram property, which we already know it is. AB parallel to CD. That's a what property? Parallelogram. Nothing's making this into a rhombus yet. AC congruent to BD. That's that's not a rhombus property. Come on, we got to get these diagonal properties down. That is a rectangle property. AC congruent to BD. That is a rectangle. Diagonals congruent in a rectangle. In a rhombus, they are perpendicular. All right, in a rhombus, they're perpendicular. I know we got a week. I'm not stressing yet. We got a week. 12. Here we go. 12. One of those perpendicular line problems, right? So we know if we're going to write it, I need slope. And what's the other piece of the line I need? Y-intercept. All right, slope of the line I gave you. 3/2. Perpendicular means I'm going to do what with it? Negative reciprocal. So what's the slope of my new line then? Take 3/2, flip it, change the sign, negative 2/3. Y-intercept, we use y equals mx plus b and plug in the point they give me, 6/8. What do I plug in for y? 8. Slope, negative 2/3, you just told me. What about the x-coordinate? 6 plus b. What is that, negative 4 plus b? Move the 4 over. You get 12. So our answer right now is y equals negative 2/3 x plus 12. That's our answer. And this is going to happen. I'm sorry. None of the multiple choices look like that. But what can you do to each multiple choice? Solve for y. Which two is it definitely not going to be? 1 and 3, because that's got 3/2 out there. So what you need to do now is you got to take choice 2, distribute negative 2/3, and add the 8 over. Same thing here. Distribute negative 2/3, subtract 8 over. And which one's going to give you plus 12 at the end? That's what you got to figure out. Okay, you got to do a little extra work on the multiple choices to get it to make it look like ours. So I'll let you take your time and go ahead and do that. It's one thing for me to say it. It's another thing for you to do it. And you should be getting choice 2. Gives you the plus 12 at the end when you add 8 over. We're going through a lot of common ones, aren't we? And you see these every exam, it seems like. Okay, 10. I'm just going over 10 because it's been a couple weeks since we did the volume unit, and I did not review any volume problems with you just because it was the last unit. All the volume formulas are where? Reference sheet, all right, including a pyramid, which I'll just give you right now. That's 1/3 BH. There's the volume of a pyramid, 1/3 BH off your formula sheet. What's capital B mean again? Area of whatever shape the base is in. Looks like it's a rectangle, huh? What's the height of the pyramid? All right, volume, 82.8. We plug that in for V. 1/3. How do you calculate big B now? Area of the rectangle. 4.6 times 9. And you're looking for H. Okay, you're looking for H. There's big B right there. So I don't know how you want to multiply by 3 to get rid of the 1/3. You can multiply 1/3 times 4.6 times 9. It's up to you. What's this one come out to be? 8. The height is 6. Okay. I didn't have the answer in front of me here. 6. Four. Last one I'm going to do with you. What is the length of CB? What's the angle next to 115? Anybody? What's the angle next to 115? 65, Luke? Yeah? Anybody? I asked you that for a reason. They both have 65-degree angles. What do you know about these two right here? They're vertical, so they're congruent. So let's keep going now. There's 2 pairs of angles that are congruent. What do I know about these 2 triangles? That's how we do the problem. We know they're similar triangles, so their sides are in proportion. 65s are congruent. Vertical angles are congruent. Angle, angle. The 2 triangles are similar, so their sides are in proportion. So 9.6 would match up with, well, not 96, sorry. Make sure the 65 degrees are right on top of each other. What would the 9.6 match up with? 21.6. And the 7.2 would match up with X. Again, hey, some of you guys may visually just fold this triangle over, and those sides don't match up. But remember, if I just fold this over, the 65 degrees would match up with F, which it's not equal to. The 65 has to match up with the 65 in the other triangle for me to match up the sides. And remember what we talked about. This fires me up. If you're always concerned about what sides match up, look across. 65, the side across is 9.6. 65, the side across, 21.6. They have to match up. Look for the sides across from the congruent angles. And then what do we end up with here? 16.2. Okay, you guys are starting with number 1. You can work with other people, doesn't matter. I'm going to walk around, though, helping you guys out. You guys know where the answer key is. Check your answers as you go. All right, but I wanted to make sure I stressed on those. Those are some pretty common topics we just went over. Go ahead, start with number 1 and work your way through the multiple choice.